And we're going to start with Vicki. How did you get started in organizing?
Yeah, well, in January of 2017, a group of friends and I were heartbroken and looking for something to do, and we started meeting once a week for coffee at a local restaurant in Westport. Very nice people who hosted us there. And at first we would just kind of commiserate, and it was more like a therapy session, but eventually we got organized and started taking action. And this is the group that now is over 900 people involved.
That's amazing.
We call ourselves the resistors, but resistors and misters, because there's a few men involved. It's not all women now.
That's fantastic. And what kind of actions were you taking early on?
Yeah, early on, phone calls, not phone banks. They really didn't have such a thing in those days, really. But we were making phone calls to our legislators. We were writing postcards. We were writing emails, and just whatever was available to do.
That's super. Celeste, how about you?
Yeah. So I came a little later to the party. So I created an organization called REBs. So that stands for Reading, Easton, and Bethel, which were the towns we were focused on in the beginning. So after in this instance, the 2024 election, something similar, I was devastated. I just couldn't believe the situation that we found ourselves in, and I just couldn't do nothing anymore. You know, for many years, I felt like this will work out, this will be okay. I may not be happy with the outcome, but we'll get through it and it'll be okay. And this time around, I'm like, we're not gonna be okay. We're just not.
Right.
And whatever I can do, I've got to try to do. So yeah, so I started with a Facebook post saying, anybody out there feel the same way that I do? And a couple of women stepped forward. And we are, you know, finding our way, but we've grown tremendously. We're 350 members.
Fantastic.
Since the end of last year. And, you know, we do a lot of different actions to try to keep people engaged and make them feel like they are not alone, which is a big part of this.
That is a big, huge part of it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Yes.
What kinds of things are you doing lately?
Yeah, so we, you know, obviously there's call your legislators, right? Call your senators, call your congressmen. We all do that. We know we need to do that, and they tell us we need to do that.
Right.
Just so even in Connecticut, like a blue state, they need to know they're focused on the right issues. So absolutely you should call folks. Even if it feels sometimes like you're spitting into the wind, I'll have to acknowledge. But anyway, you should do it. But then in addition, we've done some phone banking with other groups like Resistors, postcard writing, a variety of postcard writing. We started what we call our Bridge Brigade, and Vicki can talk about her. We both have a Bridge Brigade. Yeah. So in my instance, I have a group of people, and we stand on a bridge over the Merritt Parkway from 7 to 8:30 once a week with a sign. That says something that we think is meaningful. Like last week, it was Truth Matters. We also are looking into other actions, something we're calling Night Brigade. We would love to do billboards. We have all kinds of you know, thoughts, but we do protests, of course, as well. Organize some of our own, participate in others. So yeah, that's what we're up to right now.
That's fantastic. And Vicki, I know I attended a couple of rallies in Westport where I'm pretty sure Resistors organized those, and it was so empowering just to be in that group of people, to feel that energy and go away and feel like I'm not alone.
We actually did not organize the ones in Westport. We work with another person who is doing that, but we do show up with manpower. We also have protested in Stamford, and we encourage people to protest wherever they are, even if it's just them in their town holding a sign, because it matters, and we need to be visible. And I love our Visibility Brigade. That's something people really enjoy doing as well. Yes. We're over 95 at Exit 15.
That's great.
On Wednesdays at 5 o'clock.
Yes, yes.
Perfect time.
And what you find, or at least what I found, I'm sure you too, Vicki, is everybody kind of has their preference, right? There's some people, you know, I have a dedicated group of Bridge Brigade folks. They show up every morning, we do our thing, And then there's some people who just want to get out there with a sign on the side of the road and hold up, their thoughts.
And then you have your postcard writers,
And then
all
you
they
have
want to do is write postcards. That's fine too.
Right. They're a little bit more introverted, some of them. They want to be behind the scenes. What's great is just having variety of activities that people can get engaged in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to go back to, very quickly, talking to representatives, senators, people in Congress.
Yeah.
Early on, I remember you talking about how we almost shifted the direction of Chris Murphy because of those conversations. You want to touch on how you did that a little bit?
Well, we actually been lucky enough to have a couple conversations with one of his local representatives. And, our message to her, for him, is, and we continue to say this, and he's inched closer and closer to it, but from our perspective, we need direction. Education is great. I think Chris is a tremendous orator, and he encapsulates what's going on beautifully and educates us. And what our message has always been to him, and I've gone to his town halls and said the same, as well as to his representative, is we'd love to see you do more. And ideally, we've talked about this, Vicki, right, is, tell us what's going on. Tell us what you're doing about that. And then tell us what we can do, right? Because sometimes we feel like, are we doing the right thing? We're all kind of casting about. Is this the way to go? Is this the road to take? I'm not sure. And it would be wonderful if there was somebody in a leadership position that just gave us a little direction sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're not like blowing in the wind out there.
Yes.
Another thing that's interesting that our representatives have told us is that even when they do the right thing, they appreciate us calling and thanking them, because then their aides keep track of how many calls they get on an issue.
Right.
And then they can go to their fellow congressmen and say, I got 1,000 calls on this issue. This issue matters to my constituents. If we don't call, they don't have the numbers.
That's a great point.
Right.
I love that. Yeah.
Yes. And I think even for us as activists, protesters, whatever we want to call ourselves, opposition, is that it feels good to thank somebody as well. It does get hard to say, no,
Right.
please don't do this, please stop this. So it's nice to have a positive message.
And there's a terrific app called 5 Calls.
Oh, right.
Yeah, which has, put in your zip code and it'll directly give you the phone numbers for your members of Congress. It makes it so easy, and suggested scripts as well for the issues you care about.
Yeah, they're great.
Current
5 Calls
issues, it's always updated.
Yes.
That's a great
Very
resource.
good.
Great
Very
resource.
good.
Yeah, I love that one. So it's been like 6 months since the new regime set in. How it's tiring.
Yeah.
And we feel worn down.
Yes.
How do you guys stay motivated?
You want to take that one first, Vicki?
It's the community. Honestly, it's the community.
Right.
It's knowing how many like-minded people there really are.
Right.
And while we're not in power in Congress, we're in power in spirit among the community.
That's beautiful.
And we support each other. And we listen to each other complain, and we build each other back up, and we make friends with other groups.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
And that's really, it feeds our souls.
Yes. And I would say to that question a couple things. Is first off, virtually every day it feels like, or certainly a few times a week, I am morally appalled by something that has happened, right? And that just keeps the fire burning. I think I'm the kind of person where when I feel that there's an injustice or there's something wrong, I just am propelled to do something about it. I can't help myself in some ways.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I'm a pretty optimistic person, so I feel like we'll win this. I feel like we're going to get there. It may take us, however long it takes us, but we will get there. Nothing lasts forever, and I feel that the work that we do, the constant dripping on this regime, eventually it will start to break down and erode.
Yeah, the pendulum will swing.
It will.
And also having children keeps us going too. And I have a grandchild now who's 3. And I just think about what their life is going to look like, and I feel I owe it to them to do this work.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that too.
Beautiful.
That too.
And I want to touch on Project 2025 because, a lot of times we'll hear folks talk about, well, Trump this, Trump that, but we know he's just the puppet in this show, right?
Yes.
And Project 2025 and all the people behind that mechanism.
Stephen Miller, right. Vote, right.
Yeah, how do we get a handle on what's happening there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Any resources that you know of?
Well, you know, here's my thoughts on that, is that for the most part, the regime is upheld by the institutions that support it, right? So it's going to stay, and I would say
pillars.
I would say it's fairly fragile. It's not rock solid, and one of those, you know, Congress, you know, our justice system, or Supreme Court in particular, are certainly struggling under the weight of all of this. I tend to feel that the oligarchs, or the large the corporations out there that are supporting him and bending a knee to him, need to feel some pain.
Right.
Because once they start to feel like this isn't benefiting them, then they will start to withdraw their support. So I am a strong believer, and I wish we could see national boycotts. I certainly encourage people to stop buying from Amazon, from Starbucks, quite frankly. There is a list of companies out there watching Paramount or CBS.
There's the Good United, Unite Us app.
Goods United app will list all of that for you. Yes, so
you can look up each company and find out where they are on the political spectrum.
Excellent.
Yes.
Perfect resource.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
So all that.
And it works, right? Because we've seen the Tesla takedowns.
Perfect example.
Right.
Perfect example, Susan. Yes, that hit him hard.
It hit him hard.
Yeah.
And it's still hitting.
Yes, and we have that. That's the power of the people.
Exactly.
We can vote day to day with where we choose to spend our money and put our support.
What's been heartbreaking with the pillars to see the educational, the academic institutions.
Yeah. But it's part of Project 2025. It's all part of it. It's all.
That's right.
We were asleep at the wheel while they were putting together Project 2025. We need our own Project 2029.
Yes.
Or 8.
Or 8.
Yes.
Aggressive.
We do. We do.
I agree.
I wish somebody would pick up the mantle on that and run with
Maybe
it.
somebody is in the background. I don't know.
There are so many ideas and so many things that educated, smart people are talking about around these topics. So I think if we push them more, we can definitely do it.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
So how can the average person get involved and feel like they're making a difference in some little way? Because that feeling, right?
Well, you know, Joan Baez is quoted for saying, action is the antidote to anxiety.
Love it.
And so even if it's just postcards, whatever you are comfortable doing, do it on a regular basis, keep going, do it with other people.
Yeah,
and that keeps you hopeful.
Yes.
Yeah. People like to, I put out a newsletter, and you put out a newsletter, I put out a newsletter on a weekly basis, and you know, I get so much positive feedback from that. People just appreciate hearing from me, I guess in this instance. I always include a list of good news. You know that, Susan, you've seen it. And just that gives people hope, it makes them feel supported. For some people, that's the best we can do, right? They just want to feel like they're in community and that other people feel the way they do. Other people, as we said, they want to get out there. They want to get on the sidewalk. They want to stand in front of a Tesla dealership. Or maybe they want to write a postcard. Or maybe they want to do all of it, right? Whatever works to engage people is what's important.
Yeah, having a variety of actions for different kinds of personalities really works to keep people engaged.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So I know Red, Wine, and Blue has a Project 2025 tracker.
They do.
And it's kind of really amazing when you dig into it and just see how far along they are with all of this. Do you have any experience with that tracker or with Red, Wine, and Blue? Yeah, so we are listed, so Trouble Nation is their kind of community end of the organization. So we're listed, REBs is listed as an organizer. You can become a member through that. But I also looked at their tracker, to your point. I thought it was excellent. And they very simply break down the whole agenda of Project 2025. And I think the thing that's important, what quite frankly, it really resonated with me in reading it, is they talked about the fact that Project 2025 believes that all of our institutions were built on liberal values, the hated liberal values. And so they're all tainted and they need to go. And that's what we're seeing, right? The destruction of the Department of Education, veterans benefits, Social Security, all of it is just being attacked. And the idea is to level it all and then rebuild in the guise of
Christian nationalism.
Yes,
That's what they believe in.
Right.
So that's why, you know, if we ever sit around wondering about, well, why did they just fire 1,400 people in the Department of Education? That's why.
Yes.
That's why. Because they intentionally want to destroy these institutions and then build something back that fits their ideals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it brings up a great educational opportunity for people to understand why we pay federal and state taxes, right? Because the services that we get are all of these things that are being dismantled.
Yes.
Education, healthcare.
FEMA.
Yes.
All of those things.
Yes.
We paid our taxes
Yes.
in to receive those services.
Weather service,
Exactly.
right? I mean, you name it. All these things we just kind of take for granted.
Yeah.
And you know, I think to some extent, Susan, it's going to take a while. 6 months feels like or 7 months, I guess it is at this point. It feels like an eternity.
It does.
Right? But in reality, a lot of these actions that are being taken, they take a while.
Right.
They take a while to disseminate out and for people to start to feel them.
Feel it.
So when people are frustrated, and even us, you know, you run around like, how can this be happening? How can this be happening? Why aren't more people in the streets?
Yeah.
It takes a while. It's gonna, yeah. So.
So what you're saying is it's going to take a while for more people to feel the
Yes.
effects of what's
Yes.
happening.
And
Yes.
that's the really sneaky part of it,
Yeah.
because the bill that they just passed, that horrible bill,
Yeah.
a lot of the things that will hurt the average person will not go into effect until after the midterms or even after Trump's term,
That's
some
right.
of them.
Yes.
right.
That's
Very
deliberate,
sneaky.
of course.
Very
Yes.
deliberate.
Very
Exactly.
deliberate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although it's interesting, I was talking to a woman recently who has a friend who is in her 80s, and she has a 40-year-old son, and the son was in a terrible automobile accident once he graduated from college, soon after, and was permanently disabled and has been on Medicaid ever since. His Medicaid benefits were just canceled. He has no way to earn an income, to earn a living.
Oh, no.
So it is starting. It is starting.
Some places, yeah.
But the wave, you're absolutely right, Vicki, will be coming in. You know, once they get past the midterms. For the
Yeah.
most part.
Potentially, it's a great educational opportunity because I've heard some people didn't even realize that their health care benefits are part of Medicaid
Yeah.
overall
Yeah.
because each state names them differently.
Yes.
So mothers with disabled children or with special needs didn't realize
SNAP.
all this
Yes.
SNAP, didn't realize that those benefits are going to be hit.
Are theirs. Well, it reminds me, remember in the first Trump administration, all the people that, when they attacked the Affordable Health Care Act, right?
Right.
And people thought it was different. They thought it was Obamacare.
Right.
Right? And so they didn't make the connection.
Well, education and communication is so critical.
Exactly.
This is a big problem because
Yes.
what's happened now is there are so many. There's no Walter Cronkite that we can all tune
Right.
into and
Thank you.
listen.
Thank you.
And so we're all getting our news from different places.
Perfect.
And so my fear is that even when people do have the pain of this bill,
Yeah.
the administration will blame it on Biden.
Yes.
And people are stupid enough to believe it.
Right, right. So that brings up a great point. Where do we get some more truthful news or current events and things like that?
One thing I would say is to support your local journals, to buy a subscription to the Connecticut Mirror and to your local paper and support them financially so that they don't go under.
Oh,
Because
Yeah.
those are
Great.
trusted resources.
Yes, and you know the Connecticut Mirror is great, and they're a nonprofit.
They're a nonprofit.
So they have no axe to grind, and
Right.
they're quite they're very even keeled, shall we say? In addition, I mean, I'm sure there's so much independent media popping up out there
Right.
to
Yeah.
fill the gap.
Yeah.
So you know,
A lot of it are never Trumpers, like, you know,
Yes.
Bulwark and the Midas Touch and these people
Yes.
who were Republican but are
Were
now.
Republicans.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes,
Helpful.
but saw the lies and the
Exactly.
falsities.
So how do people find these reputable independent media sources?
Yeah. I mean, to me, I just list them, and you can.
Cool.
That's how I have a list. I'm sure you have a list, Vicki. So I like to listen to Jessica Craven.
Yeah.
She has a newsletter.
Yeah.
Sarah Cox Richardson is
Yeah.
amazing.
Heather Cox Richardson.
Heather Cox. I do that. Sorry.
Yes.
Thank you. Heather Cox Richardson.
Robert Hubble.
Robert Hubble, the Midas Touch Network.
Yeah.
They get kind of wound up sometimes, but they're good. They're good. They draw you in. There's Pod Save America, which is the podcast, which is also very good.
And you know what's also great? Indivisible, the founders, Leah Greenberg and Ezra Levin.
Yes.
Every Thursday they have a podcast, and they kind of sum up where we are and what our actions are for this week. Very reliable source.
Perfect. I love that.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
And where can people kind of access some of those stories? Like, Vicki, we were talking about something that happened. Robert Hubbell's newsletter told us about it. Can you share with the audience?
Yeah, you know, so we do these visibility brigades, and we do a lot of protests, you know, on the bridge in Westport and various places. I don't know what state it was in, but I think it might have been Wisconsin. There was a group that was protesting on a lawn, and the town turned on the water sprinklers to discourage them from protesting. Well, son of a gun, these people were so feisty. They came back the next day wearing bathing suits and goggles with their protest signs.
With their waterproof signs.
And their waterproof signs. And so it's just so inspiring to see that people are so determined.
Yes,
Yes.
that's perfect.
Yes.
And we also talked about how Republicans and people who considered never Trumpers, but we're getting more people to kind of change their position. Are you hearing from people in your organizations who were previously Republican and not feeling great?
Not in my group.
Yeah.
You know, we try to keep it away from political party, quite frankly.
Yeah.
We're there because we value our democracy and we want it to remain. So whether you're Democrat, Independent, Republican, whatever you are, that's really not our point.
Yeah.
Our point is let's preserve what we have.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So anything that you guys want to talk about, plug shamelessly, the things that are coming up for you that you need help or you want people to know about?
You know, I would say that I hear sometimes from people like, what does it matter? Like, I get out on the sidewalk, I write my postcards, I do this, what does it matter? And, you know, I'm a firm believer that the current regime's approval ratings are in the tank because of all the activity that we do. If we had all been sitting at home with our hands crossed for the past 6 months, I do not think that the awareness in this country of what is wrong would be anywhere near as great as it is, which obviously influences his approval rating. So even though it may feel like you're spitting into the wind sometimes, quite frankly, you're not. Because if we are all doing it, we're weaving this tapestry that will bring this down.
Exactly.
And I would encourage people to join a group like ours. If you go to the REBs website, or ours is resistorsct@gmail.com is our email, and it's resistorsct.org. And if you join and receive our newsletter, there'll be a wealth of opportunities to participate in whatever way you would like. And we meet every Monday morning on Zoom at 10 a.m.
Okay,
and we meet in person once a month for activist afternoons on Sundays. And you meet in person, right?
Yeah, so we also have the website. It's REBS, REBSCT.com in this instance. We also have a podcast called Girl, You Gotta Know.
Which is terrific, by the way.
It's only 10 minutes, 10 minutes, just here's what's going down, here's what you can do about it. Since Chris Murphy's not going to do it, we took on the role.
Yeah.
And so you can find that anywhere where you get your podcasts. And yeah, we have monthly meetings, in-person meetings that are members, and you know, you can just go to our website, become a member, and then you'll get on our mailing and you'll see the activities that are coming up and get some good news, get some action items, and away you go.
And sometimes new members have been inspiring. They've had ideas that we hadn't thought about, or they're connected to organizations we don't know about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it.
Very welcome.
Yes.
That's perfect, guys. And thank you so much for joining us today. This
Been a pleasure.
Really great.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
It was a great conversation. I loved it. I hope you come back again.
Absolutely.